Welcome back to the Fit Minute Podcast, Fitness for Real People, with your host, Gabrielle Mazar. On today's episode, Gabrielle discusses wearable technologies that help us stay fit and healthy. And now here's your host, personal trainer and stretch therapist, Gabrielle Mazar.
Welcome back to the Fit Minute Podcast, Fitness for Real People. And today I'm going to talk about your wearable technology. So by that, I'm talking about your fitness trackers, your smartwatches, heart monitors, etc. All those things that help us to stay fit and healthy, or at least we think they do. So wearable technology is growing. It's a growing fitness trend, and it's not going anywhere. So I've noticed that a lot of my clients have been buying their Apple Watches or their Fitbits, and they wear them to their workouts and track all their workouts. And I've seen a huge spike in people tracking that stuff more than usual. And I wanted to talk about it because normally, I guess not normally, but previously, fitness trackers were not very accurate, and your pedometers, you would have the Fitbits that would just track your steps, and it was pretty variable. So, putting your hands on the steering wheel and driving too hard would give you steps, and it didn't give an accurate depiction of your real activity level, and that is changing. It's changing quite a bit, and there's a couple of things out there that actually are really good and can help you to stay active, to get you up and moving. Now you've got the smartwatches that buzz to tell you to stand up and that you've been sitting too long, and they track not only your exercise or your steps or your heart rate, they track your sleep as well. So I've noticed it in my clients, and I think it's a huge help because it's a great tool and can be used to get people to stay active. And it helps with goal setting, it helps with training, it helps with tracking your heart rate and your sleep. And like I said, these technologies have really boomed, and companies are seeing that this is a huge industry, and they're correcting a lot of the inaccuracies in their previous models. There's more than just Apple Watches, and we've seen activity trackers and, like your fitness trackers and pedometers. But now the industry is creating some really cool, amazing technologies like a sports bra or a shirt that can track your heart rate. So you used to see, the heart rate trackers where it was just a band that you wrapped around your chest. But now you have a sports bra that can do that for you. It's a fabric that actually has the technology to read your heart rate, and it's fairly accurate. There's a lot of tests that they do to see if it actually works, and it does. It's really crazy where the industry is going to help people stay fit and healthy. Now, my job as a personal trainer is to help people remain accountable. And by doing that, I schedule appointments, and I make sure that you're coming, and I make sure that you're working hard during your workouts. But using these other tools can help you to create and form better habits. So, like I said, with the alarm that tells you to get up, how many of you sit at your desk all day and don't even notice how long you've been sitting at your desk, that you haven't gotten up or moved at all in an 8-hour period? I mean, that's a long time for your body to be sitting and not having any activity, and you're burning the least amount of calories that you possibly can during that time. So if it reminds you, hey, get up, buddy, and go move around and quit sitting, then that's creating a better habit for you to walk around. Now, I know that some of my clients and other people I know have the Apple Watches that they have like competitions. So you complete all your rings and whatever that means. I don't know. It's on there. So if you have an Apple Watch, you know what I'm talking about. But you go into competition and you're competing with other people that have these watches and they're doing the same thing. And I love this because it gets people moving. It gets people motivated. And even if it's for a short period of time, maybe a few days or a week or a month, it's better than doing nothing at all. It's that extra accountability that you get from using these tools. Some other benefits are that it makes your health goals more attainable. So you're looking at, if you're entering your goals into your watch, it's going to tell you, just like, MyFitnessPal tells you, if you want to lose this amount of weight in this amount of time, you eat this amount of calories. And now I don't always know how that's 100% accurate either, but it does help you to reach those goals, and it helps you to set attainable goals. A lot of times people want to lose, 20 pounds in 20 days, and not only is that extremely difficult, it's not maintainable forever. But it helps to minimize overtraining and injury risk as well. So those are some pretty cool benefits of having these wearable technologies. So with all the choices out there, with all the different types of watches and Fitbits and Garmins and who even knows what, you've got so many choices. Headbands even, they have headbands to track this kind of stuff. The most accurate of the ones that have been tested are the Apple Watch 3 series and above, and the Fitbit Charge 2. Now, these two technologies are less than 6% in accuracy, which means 94% of the time they're accurate with your heart rate, with your exercise, with your calorie burn. So that's a pretty good indicator of what you're doing in your daily activity. I know most people don't sit there and write out what their metabolic rate is and, or checking how much they should be burning in a day. But these technologies are really helpful. They're a great tool. And in conclusion, to tell you that wearable technologies are only getting better. They're getting better at tracking, and they're not just for activity, but also they track your sleep, which is really, helpful as well, because I know a lot of people, don't sleep well or don't get your REM sleep, and sleep is also very important. So they can help you to form better habits, create better habits in your lifestyle, and they're not going anywhere. So if you've been thinking about getting one, maybe you should. I think they're great to help you be accountable. They're great to help you up your game and to help you reach your goals. So if you're interested and you have any questions, you can always contact me and I can help you in the right direction. I would be happy to help. So that's all I have for you today. And wearable technologies, sports bras, t-shirts. How crazy is that? The way the world is going these days. So thank you for listening to the Fit Minute podcast, and we'll see you next week.
Thank you so much for listening to the Fit Minute podcast, Fitness for Real People, with your host, Gabrielle Mazar. If you'd like more information on today's interview, you can find them in the show notes, or you can find them on Gabrielle's website at www.healthybodyworksaz.com. Be sure to share the show, give this podcast a review, and subscribe so you won't miss an episode. Join us next week to hear more stories of people just like you. This has been the Fit Minute podcast with Gabrielle Mazar.